Got some baseball news. I'm a little bit under the weather still, but I have to make this video. Because then I'm gonna lose like updating y'all on like baseball, and it's gonna get way like too hectic for me to like make one huge video about all these players. So let's just make it really quick. First thing I want to talk about is Javier Baez. The Detroit Tigers have been in talks with Javi Baez. A source did break a few days ago. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised by that. I feel like Carlos Correa would be the one to sign with the Detroit Tigers over Javier Baez. But the Tigers are actually talking to Javi. We know AJ Hinch and Carlos Correa, I think they had a lunch together. So what are they doing? Are they gonna sign Javi, be like, hey, you at second, Carlos Correa at shortstop? If they sign both players, which I feel like they wouldn't be able to. I feel like Carlos Correa is the player you pay more money and for more years. Javi's like the 2-year, 3-year deal type of guy. I know he's a hell of a player. I know Javi's good, but he's too aggressive at the plate. He's not consistent enough, in my opinion. So I think that's why you sign Carlos Correa for a long-term deal, and you sign Javi for a short-term deal, if that's what the Tigers decide to do, and if that's what their plan is, because I really don't see them signing Javi or Baez for a long-term deal, or signing him at all. I just feel like they're just talking to him right now, seeing what's up, seeing what they can maybe get out of him, and seeing how much he would, take from the Tigers to be on their organization for a little bit. Who knows? All right, we got another thing to talk about. I want to talk about the New York Mets. Man, oh man, a 2-year deal with Eduardo Escobar. They signed him for 2 years. Mark Canha for 2 years. They signed him for a 2-year deal. So Escobar and Mark Canha they both got signed on 2-year deals. And then they signed Starling Marte for a 4-year deal. I feel like out of all the signings, the Eduardo Escobar is the best one. His 2021 stats, he hit 250. His average was 253, 28 home runs, and 90. Let me think of it. 90 RBIs with 1 stolen base. So look at that home runs. Like, that's a lot of home runs. Being in Arizona for a little bit and then Milwaukee. I feel like Eduardo Escobar, he dominated the Dodgers, and I feel like he can really help the Mets out, because I know he can hit left-handers. I know he can hit right-handers. And the only reason why I know that is because he dominated the Dodgers. But he dominates lefties a lot more than righties. He's a switch hitter, so that's beautiful. I mean, he dominates right-handed pitchers, because he dominates right-handed pitching better than left-handed pitching, which I feel like with the Mets, you got to face the Braves, and they have the 3-headed horse in like Tyler Maxick, AJ Minter, and then who the hell's the other one? AJ Minter, Tyler Maxick. Oh, Will Smith, the left-handed, like the 3-headed horse of left-handers. So I feel like, yes, it's a great sign, but when it comes to facing those three and like against the Braves, Eduardo Escobar has to hit from the right side, so he has to really step up from that side. But I feel like his stats out of everybody is where it's at, because Starling Marte, I'll get to him in a second. He really struggled, I feel like, in the 2021 season. So did Mark Canha, and I'm gonna talk about that really fast. So let's get to Eduardo Escobar. Not to Eduardo Escobar. Let's get to Mark Canha. Hitting .231 in 2021, 17 home runs, 61 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. I mean, that's a bench player for the Dodgers. That really is. I feel like that's really a bench player for the Dodgers. But at the end of the day, they're not the Dodgers. They're the Mets, and they have to find ways to make their team good. Just like the Dodgers, obviously, but we do it more with money, and I know that. But it's not my fault my team has money and your team don't. Like, that's not my fault. I can't control that, and neither can you. But I feel like Mark Canha, I feel like he needs to have a better year for the Mets if this 2-year deal is going to pay off. I feel like he needs to at least hit 270-ish. I feel like his home runs last year were pretty, okay in 162 games. Who knows if he was hurt a little bit. I don't really pay attention to the athletics. But I feel like he's, playing left field, if he does play left, I mean, that should be a good thing for the Mets. But he needs to step up, I think, raise the batting average. The other stats, 17 home runs, 61 RBIs, that ain't too bad. Just raise the batting average up. So I feel like he's an okay pickup for the Mets, but not like my favorite pickup, but he's someone who can contribute and help the team out. I do know that for sure. I'm watching the Ohio State and Michigan game as well as I'm making this video, and my Buckeyes are losing by a point. Anyway, let's talk about Stanley Marte, 4-year deal. They signed this man for a 4-year deal, and his stats were 6 home runs, 27 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, and a 281 batting average. He only played in 61 games, so obviously he had injuries, and I feel like this is a good signing. Oh my God, get him. Jesus, sorry. I feel like it's a great signing. Hopefully he stays healthy for the Mets because I've always been a big fan of Stanley Marte. Started this year, I think, with the Marlins and then went to the Athletics. I've always loved his game, and I feel like he can cover a lot of ground in New York, if he's the center fielder. And I feel like with a 281 batting average, that's pretty darn good. But that's only in 61 games, so hopefully, he can stay that consistent with that batting average because I really dig a 281 batting average. Not too big, not like, bro, he oh my fun. The Buckeyes just gave up a touchdown. Not too hectic, of stats, but that average, I feel like he's just trying to get on base. That's the way I look at 281, but I think that's a hell of an average. I like that average, but I feel like if he can stay healthy, he's going to help out the Mets a bunch. And I feel like the Mets, they might be a postseason team this year, but definitely I feel like a wild card team. I feel like the Braves are just, the three-headed monster is too good. And if they could re-sign Freddie Freeman and grab another big name, they might be even better. And with Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back, I feel like that will be a great thing for the Mets. All right, let's talk about the Cardinals. They signed Steven Matz for a 4-year deal. And man, oh man, I think it's stupid. 4 years for somebody who had a 3-point. Oh my God, my dogs are having a hell of a fit out in the living room. He went 14-7, so 7 more wins than 7 losses. So he had 7 more wins than his losses. So 14 wins, 7 losses. The thing what strikes me is that he had a 3.82 batting average. ERA, excuse me. That's pretty damn high. And for a 4-year deal, I feel like the Cardinals were like, hey, we're just coming to get you. Come to the Cardinals. I just feel like that deal is just way too risky. A 3.82 ERA. He gave up 158 hits, 43 base on balls, 144 strikeouts, pitched 150.2 innings. I just feel like that ERA is way too high to sign him for a 4-year deal. You sign him to a 2-year or a 1-year, and say you sign him for a 1 year. Mid-season, if his ERA is like a 2.30, then you extend him to another year, I feel like. And then after that, see how he does. Or you extend him for a 2-year deal after that, so he's with you all for 3 years. 4 years, I just feel like is way too much, and I feel like it's going to hurt the Cardinals just a little bit because I just don't like it. That's just way too much, too many years and too much money for somebody with that big of an ERA. Okay, I'll be out. Anyway. Anthony Dislefani, let's talk about him. He signs a 3-year deal with the Giants. I feel like Anthony Dislefani, he had 13 wins, 7 L's, a 3.17 ERA. he had huge games last year. Not like Logan Webb, but he had games where he was lights out. And a lot of it came against the Dodgers. No. Wrong pitcher. I'm thinking of right. Never mind. Anthony Dislefani kind of struggled last year. I was thinking about Kevin Gausman for some reason. They signed Anthony Dislefani before they signed Kevin Gausman, now that I think about it. And I just feel like Anthony Dislefani, a 3.17 ERA, I don't think you give him a 3-year deal. I think you give him like a 2-year, 1 year, just to see if he could regroup from last year. You know, the wins came from his offense. We all know it really did. The losses came from him. And the Giants' offense last year picked their pitchers up, I feel like, every single time they gave up runs. The Giants were like, oh, hold on, buddy. Hold on, opposing pitcher. We're going to score some runs to help our pitcher out. So I feel like this is a decent signing, but it's not like my favorite. I feel like they definitely should have signed Kevin Gausman first over Anthony Dislefani. We got one last thing to talk about, and then we'll finish up this video. The San Diego Padres this morning traded Adam Frazier to the Mariners for Corey, I want to say Riser, some name like that, and some guy named, I think, what the hell is his name? Ray Cray or Ray, I don't even know. Ray something. Ray Kerr, I think it was. Ray Kerr. Yeah, who knows? And honestly, I feel like that trade kind of surprised me because, you know, the Padres traded for him earlier this year. And now you're like, oh, you didn't, like, his stats were pretty good. His average was really good. He got on base, a 305 average. You know, pretty good average. The thing what I feel like what made the Padres dislike him is only 5 home runs, 43 RBIs. Like, his average is there, but he just wasn't picking up, you know, the big hits with home runs and RBIs batted in. I feel like if the Padres did keep him, you make him your leadoff man, because a 305 average, that's pretty damn good. And the fact that you guys just traded him away, like, that's crazy. I think it's a great trade for the Mariners, honestly. Now, if they can maybe re-sign Kyle Seager, which I feel like they won't, just because, you know, when he left, when it was his last game in Seattle, he, like, started crying, and I just feel like that was it for him in Seattle. So, who knows? I feel like it's a great trade for the Mariners, Padres. Who knows? You know, we don't really know too much. Well, I don't know too much about that Ray Kerr guy or Ray whatever and Corey Reisner or Roser. So, I don't know. I feel like the Mets, they went kind of overboard. We're starting Marte a little bit. You know, just because, you know, 4 years, he only played 61 games. I feel like the trade for Eduardo Escobar is perfect. I mean, the signing for Eduardo Escobar is perfect. The fact that they went out and got Marte for a 2-year deal, I feel like that's a little much, but maybe not. We'll see how he does. Adam Frazier's trade perfect for the Mariners. I feel like it's just strange that that the Padres did that. Anthony Dislefani, I feel like the Giants are giving him too many years. I feel like it should have been a 2-year or 1-year deal. And then Steven Matz, that's just overboard. That's like the dumbest trade ever, in my opinion. I just think it's stupid. Did I say trade? Signing. I just think it's the dumb. It's not a dumb signing. It's just way too long. It's not the signing I would have done, in my opinion. I just feel like the signing is 4 years for a pitcher who just... Oh, my fuck. The Buckeyes are just giving penalty after penalty after penalty. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, a 3.82 ERA, I just feel like that's way too high, but we'll see what happens in this offseason. I wonder if Javi will sign with the Tigers now. Who knows? But that's all I got. I want to end this video. I'm not feeling good. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.